Good morning. There was a man who told about going to a restaurant with his wife, and as they would choose things for dinner, the waiter would say things like, brilliant, perfect, excellent decision. And this went on throughout the whole evening to the point that the man finally said, do you ever tell anyone that they made a lousy choice? And he said, well, you see, the diners are so afraid of choosing the wrong thing that our manager has actually printed up a list of affirmation words for the wait staff. Now think about that just for a minute. Just the simple choice of which food you want to eat terrifies people so much that the wait staff is turned into therapists. Sounds kind of funny, but really and truly, and I want to talk to us today about making decisions. We kind of do that with the more serious questions of life. How do I know he or she is the right one to marry? Which college should I go to? What should I major in? Should I take the change careers? Is now the right time to retire? Should I make this investment? Buy this car? You get the idea. People hate making decisions. Most people do. And Lisa Turkhurst, who is the founder of Proverbs 31 Ministries, she did a survey on Twitter and Facebook, and she asked people, what makes making decisions so scary? Of course, the number one reason was fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, there's no one else to blame if I truly make this decision, fear of getting hurt, fear of what others will think, maybe fear of rejection. This one I can relate to, fear of missing out on something better. Just plain old fear of making the wrong decision. So don't get me wrong, a little bit of healthy fear can go a long ways in helping not make a bad decision. But sometimes I think we're kind of like the diners and the restaurants when we bring our good choices to God and we wrestle with what is His will for our lives. We want to know what that perfect will is, and we get kind of hung up on it. The perfect job, the perfect house, the perfect spouse, whatever it is. But perfect is kind of an illusion, isn't it? And what if God's will is more simple than that? What if God's will is for us to develop the wisdom and discernment to make our own decisions in the light of His Word? I don't know about you all, but that sounds kind of freeing to me. The Bible doesn't tell you 5 ways to find who you should marry, or 6 steps to the career that's just suited for you. But what it does tell us is that if any of us lack wisdom, that He gives generously and ungrudgingly, and He says that if we will acknowledge Him in all of our ways, He will direct our paths. And this is one scripture that recently came to my attention. This is the New International Version. It says, and this is my prayer, this is Paul speaking, that your love may abound more and more in knowledge and depth of insight, so that you may be able to discern what is best. And I think that when we have difficult decisions to make, I know it's okay to ask God what His will is and to really mean that. But instead of getting hung up on it, I think we should ask Him for wisdom and not live in fear of making the wrong decision. I think we can have the confidence in knowing that whichever door we choose, whichever one you walk through, if you have the right heart, God's will be done in your life. Because I don't think His will is so much about making that perfect decision as it is about becoming someone with Jesus' character. Someone whose knowledge and depth of insight is continuing to grow because you're learning more and more about God's ways, and there's just not much that can stand in the way of that. So as someone who has a little bit of trouble making decisions, I hope that we will all benefit